We got the claps. Yeah. It's on already? Okay. You heard that one. All right. Hi, Osunlade. Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We're here in this space, Ladies of Hip Hop and Snipes. So shout out to Ladies of Hip Hop and to Snipes for having us and providing us with the space.
Beautiful space. First time here. Didn't know it existed. Tell me about it.
So Ladies of Hip Hop is an organization that originally started in Philly, a nonprofit organization for women in hip hop dance or street dance in general.
Okay.
Founded by Michelle Bird McPhee, who is right here. Hi, Michelle. And always behind the scenes and running things.
Yeah.
And since over 10 years, we're in New York. And Snipes, who's actually a European brand, but they've bought into Jimmy Jazz and they support this space, and so it's like a partnership of Ladies of Hip Hop, and so there's events, classes, workshops, all the things. Okay. So we're in a dance studio, and the podcast is called Dance to the Music. So the idea of this podcast is basically to talk to musicians, DJs, producer like yourself, and find out their relationship to dance itself. And the idea behind it was me coming from being a dancer, and so I have this dance background, and transitioning into DJing, and seeing the dance floors maybe a little bit different than I did as a dancer.
It's totally different. And how you can manipulate the dance and how they manipulate the music.
See, we go right into it.
Come on.
Any introduction. Yeah. So that was the idea, and especially in what we call quote unquote dance music and whatever falls into that, right? Yeah.
All the boxes.
All the boxes that you can take, or that whatever you want to call it. Like it. I just use the term dance music.
Yeah.
How a lot of people don't dance, or
especially DJs. Like, how you gonna play music and you ain't dancing and you want me to dance? Nope, not happening. Nope.
So
not that dude.
Yeah, here's the idea of, let's just I just wanted to hear your opinion of what you
You sure about that now?
Yes.
Okay,
I do. I'm that person. I like to talk about things.
I get banned. I get shadow banned everywhere I speak my mouth. My mouth, and people are like, here he goes again. All right, cool. Okay.
Well, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't.
No, we talk about it.
I mean, I had a cute little introduction, and we can start slowly, but let's just get into it.
Let's get to the thick of it.
Yeah. Cheers. I have my water somewhere. By the way. Oh, there we go.
I have my beautiful coconut water. It's really good.
We're not sponsored, by the way, yet, but really this might be a good time.
Harmless Harvest coconut waters. If you're listening, come on, bring us some home. Bring us some money. Come on, hello. Holla.
Yeah.
It's really good though.
I already finished mine.
I'm gonna get more of those.
Okay. So what was the question that I asked?
I don't know.
Already forgot.
We're just gonna start.
So your connection. This was one of my later questions, but this is gonna be my first question now.
Let's go with it. Last first.
Yeah. So what is one of your first memories of dance? Like, what is your connection to dance itself? Besides, you're a DJ, obviously, but...
My first connection to dance, I think, would probably be... I was actually two things. I grew up in a household. My parents were party people. My parents were really, every weekend, not every weekend, but most weekends, there was a party going on in my house. I was that kid who waking up, stepping over people that's, sleeping over for the next 3 days or whatever.
Oh, wow.
It was the kind of thing. So I always had that community, vibe, dance, seeing people in a more house environment. And then DJing, it's totally just a whole another thing, because you again, like you said, from a dancer to a DJ, you view the entire room differently. You see how people are dancing, and you see how you want them to dance.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the more thing when I'm DJing. It's the thing of not even the people that are dancing; it's the people that aren't dancing. Let's start there.
Yes.
I need to get the people off the wall. So for me, it's about okay, what song is gonna make that one girl that's just standing on that wall? Nobody's asking her to dance. Let's get her out. So I'm gonna get her out on the floor, and motion for me, first and foremost, I will say I play only for the women. So just so the dudes can know, I'm playing for the girls, because the guys are only there to train spot and to see how good I'm gonna play and judge me and to get laid and to get drunk. So you bring the girls, because the girls, the fluidity in the movements is powerful. And when you have that on a dance floor, it's amazing. I have a party in Charlotte. I must give a shout out to Steve Howerton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The women all bring percussion.
Oh, wow.
So you have an entire percussion thing. All women on beat, which is rare. Sometimes you'd be like, turn that cabo, let's stop. But no, and it's like just such a good energy of, I don't know, it's like the womb with feeling, you know? I don't know, it's just interesting. You're watching women play and dance to your music.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's pretty amazing. So, yeah, for me, it's all about the women first, because I think that they're the most expressive as far as dancers, as far as how they move and stuff. So I'm looking at motions and things, not just your two-step, boom, 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 EDM, German, this is so great, yeah, no. So, yeah, and it's funny when I take people to parties and I'm like, this is a house party, you see dancers. It's like, no, I've been to parties, I'm like, no. You're gonna see dancers here. Like this is not your. Everybody's doing the same movement. And they're like, oh, okay, what's this? They're like, you move back, make space. People are expressing themselves, and that's the thing that for me, when I see that at a party, I'm like, okay, now this is a party.
Mm-hmm. So switching back to tonight, you're actually playing in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What are you? I'm going back and forth here a little bit. What is in general what you're looking forward to tonight, and in general, do you have any ideas or expectations when you go into another or new city? Is there something different in each city that you look forward to, or that you?
I never look forward to anything except for me. The mystery is a challenge. You know, I never like people always ask me, "What's your favorite?" I'm like, I don't have a favorite, because if something happens better than that, then that's not my favorite anymore. So I can't claim that. Every moment is a moment. I stay present. So when I walk in tonight, it's literally going to be, it's Natasha's thing. So I'm going to go support her and see how it's set up. I haven't played with my brother Ezel in 7-8 years maybe.
Oh, wow.
So it's a bit of a reunion. I'm playing late, so I'm just going to close it out, and just whatever they haven't done, they're going to do in the last 2 hours, I guess. So it's just going to be that.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just going to beat them down at the last few hours. But I think it's going to be a really good night. I mean,
I think so too. Yeah. I think so too. Too bad, because when this comes out, the party's already over. Yeah. But
that's right. But we'll have some things probably be online, just moving around.
Exactly.
I'm sure we might record tonight as well. I'm gonna request that actually after this, that we record it. So we'll have some archives.
For sure. So
actually, let me put that request in now.
Yeah, please. Do you think we're multitasking?
Yeah, multitasking.
I'm not here, especially time-wise. Your career is very, very extensive, so I'm not going to ask you questions about, okay, so in this year you did this and this. However, I am aware that you started in LA, your professional music career, can I say that? Or
basically,
in the music
my professional
business,
career started in LA, exactly.
And then, is that correct that you, from LA, you moved to New York, or was there a stop in between?
Yes.
So, and I saw another interview of yours where you said you spent your summers in Chicago, so you were familiar already with house music. Yes,
all my mom's sisters married men from Ghana.
Interesting.
Yes, so we would go to Chicago every. Not only house music, Fela and all that, I was introduced to as a teenager, because my summers were spent to visit my aunts and my cousins and stuff. So house was it was so prevalent in Chicago. Like what was the station? WBMX, Saturday night, like it was like 3-4 hours. We would just chill out, turn the radio on. I was like, what is this music? First time I heard like Genius of Love and Kraftwerk. So Chicago was more than just house. I think it was more of the electronic thing for me, because in St. Louis it's just funk.
Just funk.
It was just whatever the funkiest shit you can get is what was happening in St. Louis.
Okay. I'm making a note for myself to go to St. Louis.
You got to come to St. Louis. You got to get the funk. So St. Louis is not a very, we don't have the culture. We're a live music place, so it's mostly bands and musicians and stuff. So we don't have like a club culture, I'd say. So in Chicago, that was where I got like that whole thing. And then of course moving into New York. But my initial education of anything electronic
was in Chicago.
It was from Chicago. Yeah, my cousin would play me. Like the first time I heard numbers, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, are you kidding me? It's like, man, it's a jam. Like, I gotta come to Chicago more often. But yeah, everything electronic was definitely Chicago for me.
Okay, cool. So, and I mean, no shade, but LA, at least back then, I don't think had like a club culture per se either, at least to my knowledge, not as we would see it. So my question to you is, how was your transition then moving to New York? What was your experience then? You know, some people.
New York. Listen, when I was doing major productions, I was strictly hired work. So it was about productions. Or I was recording in New York all of my things. I was living in LA, doing all the business for the majors in LA, and then record because I hated LA. So I would do all the recordings here because it was more gritty, and I could actually feel some energy. And walk outside the studio, you got life. LA, it's all pretty and laid back, and I need some rough.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. I was stable there, but recording here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you moved to New York?
When I moved to New York, I actually moved to Jersey City Heights, actually, to start, and then Harlem, and then I think most of the time I was in Washington Heights.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did when you were in New York, did your should I say, your vision or your idea of what music is or should be or could be changed?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when I came here, was when I really started going to the clubs and hearing Louis and Joe and Ron and those guys. And it's when I started the label, basically. Just seeing that there was such a gap opening for folkloric music. So that's what my thing was. Like, let's put some original folkloric music to house music and see where it goes. And that's kind of
that was the idea.
That was the idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I wanted the protection of my ancestors in Yoruba, so that's hence the label.
Okay. Amazing. And from there, after you were in New York, then you moved to Europe. Is that correct?
Sorry?
From there you moved to Europe, or you had a stint in Puerto Rico as well?
I moved to Puerto Rico from New York for about 5 years, then Santorini for 11 years, then Mykonos for a year, and Berlin for a year, which I hated both of those, and moved back home 2017 to come to my mom.
So my question to you is how. I don't want to say culture shock because I'm sure you were aware of, there's a difference in each country, but you spent a good amount of years in Europe.
Yeah, my playing base was always Europe, never the States. Yeah, so when things happened for me, they happened over there, not over here. So I'd already had a big base, a fan base, and I've already traveled all over. So I'd known, got my families in every little country or whatever. Yeah. So I was pretty versed. Greece was the most amazing place. If I could move back, I'd be right now. And I could, but my mom's more important. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most centered, I think, mostly because of the nature, and then I had peace and time to just create, and there was really nothing else to do there. Also it was great because my touring was mostly Europe, so I could fly to London today and be home tomorrow. So it was such a benefit for me to be 3 hours away from pretty much any city to play.
Yeah, that's one of the few advantages, I guess, when you're in Europe, because you can just go in and out.
It's like going to a different state here.
Exactly, yeah. So it's interesting, though, now that I hear you talking about it in person, your folkloric music to house music, which is Black American music, but you say you had a following and a fan base, or everything was happening for you in Europe, which is a completely different sound, I would say, personally.
I think because in Europe, it's the world, right? So it's the most of the other cultures of the world, and I think what happens is when you go to these cultures, there's different laws, rules. Like France has to play specifically 60% French or whatever. So to even get on these stations, you're just like, but I remember go to France and I would hear Black Man on the radio, like Nova and. Like major stuff. Well, you don't get that in here because over here they're playing MTV or whatever's popular, Britney Spears or whatever, whoever's Lady Gaga, whatever the fuck the latest pop thing is. So I think it's the thing that you have so much music that flows elsewhere that people capture because they're used to having an influx of different types of music, whereas here is so fucking formulated.
Is that because it's?
I think it's just a cultural thing. I think it's just a cultural thing. I mean, if you live in Italy and you're next to Spain, you may hear some Spanish stuff, or you know what I mean. It's just the crossover is a lot more likely than it is here because everything is controlled here by monetary gains. There we go. There we have the answer. Yeah, it's all money here. So I mean, pretty much every place. But I think the thing is, which I've learned and appreciated more than anything is your audience and your demographic. Your audience and your demographic, the people that chose you will always be there. That's your people. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's been just really, really interesting and important to kind of maintain and like realize like you have these groups of people in every different little place that you have to, that you've gained. And it's just important to play that and share the music with them. It's been interesting after 3 years of not being able to get out.
I was just going to ask that.
And
yeah,
now
what has
being
changed?
able to,
what has changed?
I don't think anything's changed. I think, a lot's changed, but I mean, I think a lot has changed. But I mean, in the sense of the like I just did Southport weekend, which is my first international trip out since the pandemic. And it was mostly a reunion. I think it's just everybody, hadn't seen each other, and the music was amazing. It was just a good experience. I think it's just everybody just kind of getting back like, okay, whoa, 4 years, almost 4 years I haven't seen you kind of thing.
That's crazy, yeah.
I think the only thing that's changed is that people are a little bit more aware of themselves and of what's really going on, and that the world is not what they told us it was.
Which could be a good thing.
It's a great thing. I think that we are waking up, and again, music is healing people. That's the most important. Like regardless of, if anything, the connection with music and people is the one thing that's keeping us moving, through this shit.
Okay. So you said even before the pandemic, right, your fan base or your things are in Europe or outside of the US. Yeah. However, within the last couple of years, you didn't travel. Did you travel or play more within the States?
Yes, absolutely.
You did. And how was that? If you
it was quite interesting.
About
it was quite interesting because it's America. You go to some place and you're like, oh wow, I'm in the South. For real. Oh, word. Oh, this is, ooh, okay. And so you realize, okay, so I'm not, it's an interesting fucking place. It's an interesting fucking place. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
We some interesting motherfuckers. But it's been good. It's been good because I've been able to at least build bridges over here that I didn't have before because I never really played over here, or people were like, oh, can't afford you. You got these Americans. Like, okay, so we've been building, and it's been good. We got some new relationships and playing some cities that I've never played before. Like I was mentioning Charlotte before, and places like that. And you're like, whoa, okay, there's some thing going on here. And then Sedona, I'm playing Sedona. I'm like, oh, I don't exactly, exactly. So there's been some places that have been really amazing, and it's always good to just see home, and kind of realize like where you are. Because we in America, I think we never really take the time to move outside of our little block.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, I've never been to Iowa. I've never been to, this state or that state. And you're like, why would I go there? But why not?
Yeah, but it's also so easy, at least.
Just explore.
From my experience, I mean, I am from Europe originally, but as soon as I moved to New York, I felt like I didn't go anywhere because I was stuck the whole time.
Yeah, everything's right there for you.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's also a mental frame that we have to get out of. Like, get out of, like, go that place you don't know. What's there? Okay, go find something.
Yeah,
maybe you can build something there. I don't know. So it was interesting, and it's also interesting to see, like, you drive through. We were doing a documentary about how.
Yes, can you tell us a little bit already, or is it too soon? So documentary, it's in the process still. So basically, during the pandemic, I was getting so many calls from artists and DJs and producers, and just how it was affecting them. And I was like, bro, there's a story here. Everybody's being affected differently. Some people can't pay child support because they don't have jobs coming in. And I had one artist is like, his mom's trying to put me in jail because she doesn't understand I don't have gigs. And I'm like, okay, we got to talk about this. This is affecting everybody. So I have a friend that's basically, he was invested in filming and filmmaking and stuff, and it's like, let's just get on the road and do it. So we literally spaced the country out in different sections, south, north, west, east, and just went around. And I was like, well, I got the people. Let's find out how everybody's dealing. And so we drove for the last 2 years, or the first 2 years, and just really went around, and we had 10 questions of how this affected you, spiritually, emotionally, musically, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it was really interesting to see how everyone was taking this on. So we're in the process of editing now. It's like 8,000 plus hours of, oh my goodness.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's
it's
who knows. It may, I think it's probably, we're going for a documentary, but I think it's probably going to be easier or better to make it a series.
Yeah, that sounds.
Pretty much every American DJ not every, but you know, I think 80% of we got everybody's view of, and this is a timepiece, so it's not. And
it's important to hear the stories.
It's never gonna happen again like that.
I think one of the main good things that came out of those couple of years is that people started to talk to each other. They didn't have the time, quote unquote, right, as an excuse, or didn't really
didn't
get
have
to
time
talk.
for self.
That part, yes.
Nobody would have ever. I would have never stopped and said, "Okay, give me 3 years to just spend time with my mom at home, doing nothing." Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. So that, you know. But that's the thing, man. And that was the one thing that came across more than anything in the questions of everyone. Unilaterally, it was like, I just found out what was important. I don't need to chase gigs anymore. I don't need, like Theo was like, I don't know my son. He's 13 years old. I'm not going on the road anymore. You know, stuff like that. It's like really people found out what was really meaningful, and people opened their eyes to the bullshit as well. So I think we're moving. We're moving. We're evolving. You know, the vibrations are faster and wider now. So things are moving.
Yeah. In that on that note, as an artist, right? You just said it yourself. You're a person who lives in the moment, right? You're right there. You don't think.
Don't ask me about yesterday or tomorrow or the next hour, because I can't tell you.
And were you always like that, or is there something after so many years of being an artist, DJ, producer, where you're like, okay, so what's next? What else can I do? Do you even ask yourself that, or
I don't. I'm always ahead in my mind of what I have to do next, but I'm always present for now because I only know how to deal with now. Like, I'm not a good person. Like, if it's 5 people, I'm only concentrating on one because my brain doesn't work that way.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really focused on mastering whatever's in front of me. That's it. Yeah.
And as far as like artistically, I can say, or like personal projects that you feel like you still want to accomplish, or is that something where the time gets?
No. I think things for me, I just accept whatever's given to me.
I
don't
understood.
do anything.
Got
I just accept it and follow the plan.
Got it. Okay.
Do what I'm told.
And going back to the dance aspect of music, you briefly spoke about earlier how, you know, European versus like very Berlin, like very stiffish dance versus, you know, American.
Or even Japan, or just dance cultures everywhere. Yeah.
Right. Do you especially now after the pandemic, when you play, do you see there a difference of people as the audience behaving different than they used to before?
Absolutely. People are going for it now. They're like, you locked me up.
I need to let loose.
It's like caged animals. They're like, ah! It was a bit hard in the beginning. The first few times they kind of open up, close, open. People didn't really know what to do.
How to behave also.
Yeah, how to behave. Do I touch you? Do I hug you? Do I what? Now it's cool because everybody's realized, okay, I'm not gonna fucking die. So it's like, okay, now we got our heads back on, our asses. And so it's a bit, people are giving a little bit more space. I think there was this moment here specifically in New York where I played a few clubs. It was a bit too much.
It's interesting that you say that, because for me, from going back out, number one, the policies were crazy and too much. And number two, also, I feel like you said, it's just you let them loose. There were people that might have transitioned gradually, turning 21, I'm going out and go out here and there and learn, quote unquote, how to go out. They didn't have that chance. And I feel like once really everything opened back up, it was just, the energy was crazy. Free fall. Nobody.
Let's go.
Yeah, and
free
hopefully,
potato chips, everybody.
And I hopefully now, or like in the next, especially now, where hopefully summer's coming at some point, it evens it out. But it was like you said,
it was really, crazy
really
here.
Crazy.
It was crazy here.
Yeah.
I mean, none of that moment made sense. None of it. None of it. Like, you got to be vaccinated, but I'm a visitor DJing. I don't have to be vaccinated, but I can. Like, wow.
It's just nothing.
I'm cool with that, but what?
Nothing made sense.
Yeah. So I didn't play any of those people's games. I just like, you need this for that. I'm not playing. I'm staying at home. I don't need any of this. And so again, it taught me like what was important. Yeah. But now, people are going for it. Tonight's gonna be a rave.
Oh, yeah, I'm really excited for tonight.
It's gonna be a rave.
The other question, obviously, I asked you this from as a DJ, right? What do you observe when you play? But when you produce, or when you produce other tracks, is that also something that you think about, or that it's in your mind? Like, does that gonna make people dance? Or
it kind of maybe flares in. Like if I'm in the group, I'll have a thought of, okay, the dancers are gonna get this one, or this part of the song they're gonna die, or something like that. But it's never creatively. I don't think outside of whatever I'm trying to get rid of.
When you say get rid of, meaning
everything
out?
Get out of me. Because whatever comes it's a vulnerability, it's a sensibility, it's something that's happening in my life that I gotta get out. It's a moment. So I never think outside of like what is the universe trying to push out of me, and once that's done, then I'll think about like all the extra stuff.
Okay. I think so. I'm just checking my cheat sheet over here.
I got my harmless harvest. You listening?
Listen, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work.
I'm gonna call them up.
Call them up. Hydrate us all. So it's just a little fun thing, at least for me, or interesting, because I'm always curious, what do people that make music actually listen to? And shout out to your Twitch game, actually, because...
Oh, my Twitch? Yeah, I love my Twitch.
Yeah, if you have not followed him on Twitch, you should, because it's always the feels. No matter what kind of feels, you're going to be music. In your feels.
It's just music. You're just in my crib, chilling with me. I'm not performing. There's no pictures. I'm not talking. Yeah, my dogs.
The dog.
Yeah.
But what I actually wanted to ask you, can you think of 3 tracks, whatever comes to mind, that you associate with dancing? Something that either makes you get down, or where like, oh, yo, I remember this one time I played it, people went crazy, or my family used to get down to this, or it doesn't have to be, in whatever dance music genre, just whatever.
Let me think. I don't know.
I'm curious.
For when you said dancing, I was thinking of my cousins and I. We always used to do the Soul Train line at our house, like the Soul Train line thing. We did that. And we danced like the Funks and Parliament Funkadelic or whatever. I mean, that's my fondest memory of dancing, like really getting down and booging, because you got to show off when you go down. You're in the Soul Train line, you got to get it.
People see you.
Right, you got to get it. And it's your cousin, so you're like, hold up, I got y'all. Y'all ain't doing nothing. So that was my first, but yeah, probably some funk or some chic or some, good times or something like that, yeah. Playing out, song that always works for me right now is probably Illusions, the DJ Cozy remix with Rosie Murphy.
Okay, I gotta take that one out.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think of who's the remix by.
When we edit this, we're gonna throw these in.
Yeah. I think
at least that's the plan.
Right. Okay.
Oh, let's listen right now.
Good.
Shall we? Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So Robin S is performing tonight.
Robin S? Oh, wait, we're not done yet. You're missing one more track.
Sorry.
You said...
Oh, one more track.
Yeah.
So one more track. Then the other track would probably be... the other track would probably be Henry Texier, Le La Basse.
Okay. And that is something that...
That is a folklore, it's a jazz record, actually, but I play this, it's a staple at, I closed a festival out in Canada called Harvest Fest right after Burning Man.
Oh, wow.
And a week after Burning Man. And it's 1,500, 2,000 on a farm, really cool, 3 hours north of Canada on a private farm. This guy has his farm. He was the art teacher of the village and of the town. The town is probably like 1,000 people or something. And so he has his farm, and he's all these big sculptures on his farm, and it's this private land, Northern Lights, and the best 1,500, 2,000 Canadians you ever want to party with.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's really cool. And so the last day is a Sunday, and I close it out. There's nothing else out. And I just play pretty much WYRB, just full on. And so this song, Henry Textured Le La Basse, it's a stand upright bass jazz thing, but it's like a hippie folkloric thing, but it gets people moving. Okay. Because it's just bass.
Well, yeah. There we go. There we go. So that was it, actually. That was all my questions, because we either talk all day or we're going to have to set ourselves a limit. We won't have time to dance. Exactly. Unless you have any shout out that you want to say.
I just want to shout out the people that brought us here. Bless up. And make sure you get over here and check it out.
Yeah, shout out once again, Ladies of Hip Hop and Snipes. Thank you for having us.
And what's the address here?
The address is 3826 30th Street in Long Island City.
There you go.
Queens.
Come check them out. Support.
You can find it ladiesofhiphop.com. We can find you on Twitch, on Instagram.
Yoruba Soul TV on Twitch. Instagram, _real_Osunlade.
And your Bandcamp, where we can all
Bandcamp is yorubarecords.bandcamp.com, yorubasoul.bandcamp.com. Yeah. Yoruba Records or Yoruba Soul.
Okay, so buy all the tracks.
Yeah,
that's
buy everything.
Everything.
My dog needs treats.
Thank you, Osunlade. That was fun. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Sure.
What's your question? Let's go, Michelle.
Listen, re-offering, I swear, was so life-changing.
Oh, wow.
And, like, everything you do.
Re-offering was, so this series was really important for me because me and my really close friend Kiri, who R2, the label that's on, we kind of set out to, wanted to do like a series that was like, all right, let's do something a little bit, because everybody was at the time was doing compilations and stuff like that. So let's do something that's like really formulated. And we had found this we found this Spanish photographer who'd done this photography of the Haitian ceremonies and stuff, gotten all that stuff, and I just wanted to get like a really good thing of music and visuals together. And so that was people mentioned offering or re-offering. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like just it's one of the primary things I've done that's, as far as DJing wise. It's really helped me out. Yeah, good moments.
Yeah, everything really.
Everything.
The question was, I'm sorry.
I don't even know if it was a question.
Oh.
It was just like giving you the props
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
that was
praise.
a good moment. That second one I actually did the mix in a hotel 2 hours before my set of a party in London. I remember I was finishing, it was like, okay, I gotta play. I was doing this set, and I was like, okay, Kira, here's the next offering. Like literally, it was already, yeah. So things like that happen. You were asking me like, how do you, whatever the next, it's all moments for me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and are you a person, sorry, that also just jumped into my head, like, do you need a deadline? Are you a person, you need a deadline?
Yes.
Otherwise it's like,
give me
it's
a
never
deadline
finished.
or it's gonna be next year. Or it might not happen.
Or never, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's always the first thing I do when somebody asks me for a remix. I'm like, what's the deadline? Because I don't write, like I don't go to the studio and just write. It's like it has to be a moment that I'm in spiritually or physically or whatever, So right now, I think the last month or so, I'm pretty creative. 4 months before, nothing. Like nothing, not one note, nothing. But that's when I really enjoy it, when I'm not writing, because I'm taking in everything else.
Everything in.
Yeah.
So, and is there a moment in your life where you realize that's how you are and you accepted it? Because it's contrary to what people say, oh, motivation doesn't happen. You just have to keep going every day.
I'm very clear of me. I'm very clear of me. There's no question about me, to me.
Oh, I mean, I don't think
No. I mean, in the sense of creativity and everything. It's like I don't.
Never.
No. I'm just very much okay. Whatever it is. Where are we right now? I'm very acceptant of the reality of my space at the moment. I'm not seeking for anything more. I don't need more. I'm fine.
Amazing.
So
okay. And I think, there's another question.
There's another question.
Because you don't just do remixes for anything.
No.
So like Oshima?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And those are just
So that was an artist. That was a friend, actually. I should say first. It was a friend of mine. I have a really good family of friends in Australia. There was a friend in Australia, and he had that record, and he had put it on the label, and they were just kind of holding him hostage and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, man, give me the record. Let me fucking do this record. And then I was like, let me just do remixes of everything on the record. And so, yeah. That was just kind of by chance. I was saving him. It was just a really bad situation, contract he was in or whatever. And they're still threatening me with shit. I'm like, bro, the record's done. It's been out. Get over it. So, but yeah. It was like me helping a friend out, and I really believe in this. He actually has a new record coming out on another label, but yeah, Osunlade is a really talented dude, Adelaide. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, that was just mostly like us, I started the label Yoruba Soul to kind of do things that were not house, to give all the artists another vehicle to produce stuff that they do that's not house. And yeah, I thought it was a great record. So I'm blessed to have it on the thing. And that we got it on wax during the pandemic. That was a big thing.
So how do you decide, like, who you're gonna, I don't know.
It's always the music. It's always the music, yeah. And normally whenever I hear it, it's like, don't send me any of the music, just send me the vocals. Or whatever the main part. If it's a horn, don't send me, I don't want any of the original stuff. Because I want to recreate everything. Just send me the one thing. Yeah, I don't want any of your parts.
So no stems for you?
No stems, just the main thing of his vocals, all the vocals, but that's pretty much it,
all
yeah.
Right. Is there any, I know this is an off question, but where, and I might already know the answer, but where you have somebody that you appreciate really musically, that you like their stuff, but you really don't like the person?
That just happened to me. So Herbert.
From England?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Matthew Herbert's like one of my idols. I fucking love that dude. He's fucking amazing. So his album Bodily Functions, I know you know that album, came out fucking was 2001. Same year my album Paradigm come out. So we had the same agents in Paris.
Ah, okay.
So we were close, but we never met. So I'm going through my records, and I play this record. This is like, for me, the best electronic album ever made, for me, personally. And they just re-released it. I think it's like the 30th anniversary or some shit like that. So they just re-released it on vinyl. I'm like, my vinyl's whack. I gotta fucking buy new vinyl. So I just bought 2 vinyls, get an email back, and he's like, well, Herbert, big fan of yours, he wants to do, would you like to do a remix for his new album? And we do a swap. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Trick question much? Like, no, let's do this. So that just happened. So
dope.
in the process.
Nice. See?
Yeah, see things like that.
Okay. Well,
So we'll
any
see.
other questions from the audience?
Which I must mention this album, because you know Herbert does all of these albums where he makes palettes of sounds of specific things. So this one is sounds from horses.
Oh,
so he's
interesting.
taken-
I remember the In Around the House album. when
Yeah,
he was
and
in
on the house and in the pig
kitchen,
album, where it was
no.
just all pig sounds. So this one he's taken made horse drums out of horse skins, the hair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everything is from horse, and it's an orchestra. So I'm just waiting on them to send me the album. It's like, pick a song. I'm like, let's go.
Wow.
So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah,
We're
me
waiting.
too.
We're waiting.
Me
We're
too.
waiting. All right. Well, I think now we have
Now we finish?
I think so. Yeah. I think again we have a deadline. We should set ourselves a
Yeah,
deadline.
we have a deadline. I
make
gotta
it
go
done.
eat.
Yeah, we gotta go eat. We gotta do all the things so we can party tonight.
Yes.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you for
Cheers.
having us. Thanks, Michelle. Do we need to clap again? No.